So we're pushing towards about 10 members of staff now. We're getting there. We're very much a predominantly design and development driven company. We're very product focused, but the exciting thing is now actually starting to focus on some of the sales side of things as well. A lot of the sales has just been done like on the side by the existing team, and that's kind of where we have the next growth, I think, where we're going to be bringing people onto the team. The plans are very much to grow GoSquared on our existing customer base, to grow the customer base, and to bring in revenue from our customers. There's no better business than to have customers paying for a service month on month and loving the service. And if we keep building the best service we can and making them happy, making them successful, then I think we're onto a winner. Mid last year, we had a lot of, we had the money in, and we finally had like all the resources there to go. And it's amazing how, money doesn't answer everything. You still have to know how to manage a team, to hire the right people, to get rid of people that aren't working, to do the right things to make sure you're growing a team that works as productively as just the two of you guys did back in the early days. And there's so much to learn around that, and we were effectively kids at the time, so we've had to learn on the job all the time, and that's been a really humbling task actually. But I think after this many years of doing it, we're now really getting the hang of it, and I think we're building something that's going to last and going to continue to grow. Raising money isn't like it is in the movies as well, It's not like the Facebook movie, The Social Network. You have to put in a lot of hours, you have to put in a lot of preparation to get the deck right, to know who you're pitching to make sure you're saying the right things, make sure your graphs are in the right direction, all of that stuff. And it's a full-time job doing that, and everyone forgets you've also got to run the company at the same time. And I think times around raising money are really challenging, and it really points out that the best entrepreneurs out there can do that well. And I think we still have a lot to learn. I think we were really concerned about our age in the early days when we were 17, 18, and we were pretty much daunted by being in the industry. And a lot of people try and hide behind their screens at that time, but we were keen to get out there as soon as we could, and I think generally in this industry what's great about it is age doesn't matter as much. It's what you've done, it's what the product you're shipping to people, the customers you have on board, how well you're doing there. And I think we've always tried to let that speak for ourselves rather than our age be a barrier. In terms of the people we've got on board, we've had people that are much older than us working with us, and generally, we've worked great with whoever we've been working with, simply because it's not about the age, it's about your skills, it's about what you can do, and that depends on the person, really. Yeah. So we're based at White Bay Yard in Clerkenwell, which is a great space. We love it there. It's such a hub of activity, and there's so many great teams there, and it's very close to Old Street and everything that's going on here. So we do one thing we do try and do is we're building an analytics product that's very useful to a lot of startups. So we try and wherever we can talk to as many startups as we can, because we know that's going to help us out. So we try and give talks at places like General Assembly and Google Campus, where we try and help people and give away as much knowledge as we can. We also run two blogs, the main GoSquared blog, and we also have an engineering blog now, which we talk about all the projects we're working on, the technology we're using, and the challenges we've faced. And that, I think, is a great way for us to give back to the community, where we share all of the challenges we've had and try and help other people out. So a lot of what we've done, especially with growing our own user base, has been through community stuff, the blog, Twitter, Facebook. We wouldn't be anywhere without our Twitter presence, and a lot of that has just been through sharing information and helping people out. And I think that's a much better and more sustainable way of doing things than just spending thousands of dollars on a Google Ads campaign, Yeah. there's so many inspiring stories going around right now, with what people can do with the kind of opportunities out there. I don't think it's ever been as easy to start a company. I think starting something is it's easier than it's ever been in the history of man. You can get started coding. There's tons of free stuff on the web. There's classes you can go to pick up programming if you don't know it already, to learn design, to learn basic entrepreneurial skills. London is to be lucky enough to be born in London, there's so much opportunity to speak to mentors, to speak to investors. But on top of that, though, I think the most important thing is, once you started something, it's running it. And I think people get excited in starting something, but forget just how difficult it is running it and keeping it going and growing it. And I think that's where I think there needs to be more help and more assistance. But I think for people that are really starting up, there's never been a better time. So go out there and do it. That you don't need cash in the bank. You just need your laptop and a code editor, basically, and you can get something going for next to nothing. And also, I'd say start a blog, because that always helps. Like, we built our early audience and customer base around our blog, because that was what gave us a face, and it was where we shared all of our learnings and all of the stuff we were working on. And without that, we would have had no kind of fan base or customer base, because that was what attracted them in the start. Like, having a product is one thing, but having a blog which is sharing and open to all of the stuff we're working on and shows there's real people behind it, is just makes a huge difference to how people treat you and treat your service. Yeah.